Hi, everybody. This is Gary Jones alongside Glenn Jones and Paul Kingsbury. We're here at the Idaho Center to bring you the 4A State Girls Championship basketball game between the Lady Vikings of Middleton and the Lady Knights of Bishop Kelly. And now the starting lineup for the visitors on the scoreboard this evening. That'll be the Lady Knights, junior at 5'7", number 4, Emily Ramondi. A senior at 5'7", number 5, Bailey Lowry. A senior at 5'2", number 12, Jordan Hutash. A junior at 5'9", number 15, Lindsay Tejan. A junior at 5'9", number 20, Elise Towelboy. A sophomore at 5'8", number 23, Sarah Hassel. And a junior at 5'10", number 25, Cassie Brunel. And now for the non-starters for the Lady Vikings. A senior at 5'4", number 4, Caitlin Smith. A sophomore at 5'4", number 15, Brittany Lisi. A senior at 5'8", number 20, Brittany Coombs. A junior at 5'10", number 22, Erica Hancock. A senior at 5'6", number 31, Danielle Jessup. A sophomore at 5'7", number 32, Emily Hammond. And a sophomore at 5'10", number 33, Araya Gonzalez. And now the Bishop Kelly Knights have come in 19-6 under Coach Jared McCormick in his first year. Their 5 starters: a sophomore at 5'8", number 3, Julie Magera. A senior at 5'9", number 10, Megan Hughes. A junior at 5'7", number 11, Chelsea Bocan. A senior at 5'7", number 21, Brianne Gribble. And a junior at 6 feet, number 22, Mariah Adcox. And now the Middleton Vikes come in at 22-4 under Coach Andy Jones in his 6th season. His starters: a senior at 5'8", number 2, Janae Root. A senior at 5'3", number 10, Robbie Jenks. A senior at 5'9", number 11, Kalika Tullock. A senior at 5'9", number 12, Sarah Slutz. And a senior at 5'11", number 23, Samantha Simon. Well, Glenn, Middleton won league. BK won lost the district title, but they're actually a higher seed in this tournament. They were out of district. They were the 2nd seed. Middleton was the 3rd seed. And these teams split in the regular season. I can tell you one thing. One of these teams is going to win their first girls' state championship because neither school's ever won one.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. They were the split this year, Gary, 1-1. Didn't meet it after that. So it should be an exciting game, Gary. District 3 is going to be proud that both their members are here. And Bishop Kelly's has a couple of records. That's their best league record ever. Conference 13-1. And they're going to win or lose tonight, end with their highest winning percentage in school history. That testament perhaps to Derek McCormick in his first year coming over from Bora, where he was an assistant coach to Allison Pincock and the Bora Lady Lions. Also, Derek is actually a friend of mine. I've known him on the softball field. I'm going to miss him because you can't supplant Wes Farrell softball at BK. So hopefully someday he'll get back into it. I miss him on the field. Fiery personality, great coach, and a pretty good player himself when he was at BK.
Here we go. The tip is going to be controlled by Middleton. And I can tell you, these are media-friendly uniforms. I can clearly see these numbers.
Oh, boy, you're going to have a heyday here today, Gary.
Slutz has it in the corner. And Jenks up top now. BK in the black, Middleton in the white. District 3 foes here battling it out for the 4A state title. Hope you can pull up a chair and join us on idahosports.com.
It's black and white, but we've got it in living color. It's a paradox. Sit back and enjoy the game. It's going to be a good one.
In the paint, shot on the way is good for Slutz.
Slutz, a great move, an explosive move after she terminated her dribble, Gary. She just exploded across the key, righted herself, got her shoulder straight to the basket and put it in.
Hughes with the basketball. In the paint. A shot on the way, and they called, was that a 3-second violation?
3 seconds, yeah.
We haven't seen many of those.
Well, we heard the refs the other day talking about how they don't like calling 3 seconds. Well, these didn't bother these guys.
Not at all.
Middleton 2, BK zip, 6:53 to go. In the paint, There's a shot that'll go by Simmons. And that's her first bucket.
Middleton out of the gate in a hurry. Gary, BK's returning just one full-time starter, that's Hughes, and one part-time starter. 6 of the 12 people on their roster weren't even on the varsity roster last year.
That free throw no good, and the Knights have the rebound. I like the Knights uniforms. Looking inside for Gribble. Turnaround shot is checked. Here come the Lady Vikes. Root has it in the paint. Shot on the way in and out by Tulloch is no good. And the putback they're going to wave off because of traveling.
Do we have our rest for the evening, Gary?
We don't. You can do that for us.
Let me see if I can...
I'll tell you, each team got here. Middleton opened up with Hillcrest, 57-29, easy victory. Then they got by Skyview, 50-34. They've had a couple of large victories. And BK, they open up with a 1-point win over a 23-1 Jerome team, 46-45. And then they got by Pokey, 44-41. So, you know what? Glenn, BK's been in 2 tight games. Middleton has been in blowouts. Does that favor either squad?
Well, you right away you'd think because you've been in the in tight games, you're able to keep your composure down the wire. So we'll see if it comes into play, Gary. You certainly tend to lean that way.
Boy, for BK to beat a 23-1 Jerome team that a lot of people, you know, because of record alone, put in the finals. Wonder if our media voters did. No, Bonneville was one with all 11 votes. But they were undefeated.
Yeah, they were undefeated
when the last poll came out. Where was Middleton? 3rd, BK 4th in the media poll. So you weren't bad on that one. If they're in the top 5, I said you did a good job. Cody Uri and Mike Jamar are 2 referees.
I think that's Cody. His picture, he's shaved bald now, but he has hair in his picture, so we're trying to decipher who he is.
They do that, yeah, so nobody will know. That's Magera for 2. Yeah, they don't want to be recognized on the street if they make a bad call here.
I never worried about that.
Oh, these fans don't either. I mean, these refs. Like I said before, if you don't got self-esteem, you would never become a referee. Hughes to Brunel. Shot is good. Now we're all tied at 4. 4:46 to go in our first. Neither of these schools just won a state title. They don't know the feeling. One of them is going to know it.
Brunel, deputy left-hander, she had that shot coming out of her hand almost as soon as she caught it. She knew she was going up.
They go in low to Tulloch. She'll dish it back out to Simmons.
Gary, I always like that in a player. That when I'm coaching basketball, I teach my girls when you catch the passes, the first thing I want you to do is turn to the basket, set, and get ready for a shot. And there's the ball. It's going to be ruled out of bounds to BK. I want them ready and set to go. And these girls, Brunel right there, knew she was going to shoot. She had it turned, faced up, and the ball was out of her hands almost as immediately as she had it.
You know, I like that between the refs, the communication. They got together and changed the call. You know, and that's the most important thing is get it right for these kids.
Communication is tantamount to refereeing. I don't care where you are. Between innings, on the court, in a football game, on the field, communication.
Nice spin move, and it's going to be a foul on the floor, they're going to say. So they'll inbound this ball from the out of bounds. No free throws. That's 2 team fouls on BK. And that's the first foul on Middleton. A foul on Slutz, her first. Couple good pep clubs here finally.
Well, 2 local teams that had to travel about 10 minutes.
Nearly going in the backcourt, but saving it are the Knights. In the paint, shot is checked, and we're going to shoot 2. If you can email us during this game, webcast@idahosports.com. Give us a shout out. Tell us who you're rooting for, where you are, and if you want us to give a personal shout out to anybody, just let us know who that is. We'll do it for you. Free throw is good.
2 rims and down. We got somebody checking in for the shooter here, Gary. I can't see who it is. She's
in and out. So 1 of 2 made by McGarrett. She's got 3 points. And BK leads for the first time this evening, 5-4.
I always wonder if the person at the line wants to stay in the game so they miss on purpose. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I would. Tulloch, I figure I can light it up in the fourth quarter. I'll miss one now. Simmons.
I tell you what, if nothing else, we have fun. Hope you guys are having fun also.
There's a steal. Hughes has it. She's in the front court, coast to coast. Ooh, wow. Man. They're a little contact. They're letting them play here, Glenn, in this game.
Well, there was definitely body contact there, Gary, but that was not called. And you're right. They're letting that continuation to the basket, underneath the basket going in. Boy, liberal substitution here in the first quarter as we got 3:14 left, 5-4 BK over Middleton early in the contest.
There's a shot in the paint, off glass, no good.
Purnell with that shot, tried to shake down her own rebound, but missed.
There's a shot, no good. And over the timeline is Spokane. They lob in, ball loose, stolen back, but it's tipped right to Middleton Viking. Up ahead come the Vites. That's Root with the basketball. To Smith. Caitlin Smith, the senior 5'4" in now. There's a reverse layup, and it'll go.
Wow, very nicely done.
That's Kalika Tulloch, her first bucket.
Well, she is everything for this team. She is one heck of a player, 11.4 points per game and 4.5 rebounds per game. Senior.
Shot on the way, no good. In fact, it was an air ball, and Middleton is on the attack, leading by 1, 6-5. There's a shot on the way, and it's good. That by Root.
That's a pretty rainbow shot. I don't want to use Lynn Shackelford this early in the game, Gary.
You better save him. $1:36 to go. 8-5. Middleton by 3. Shot on the way for BK, and that'll go. That's hit by Bailey Lowry.
Like that shot hits
Lowry,
the back
rather.
half of the rim and goes right off the glass and thunk right down through the webbing.
That was Lowry. I'll get that pronunciation correct. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebounded by Hughes. And it's going to be a foul.
Yeah, Hughes got that rebound and tried to take off on a fast break in traffic and had a Middleton arm reach in there and smacked away. Boy, Gary, this is substitution city. Look, here's another one. I was in a game one time, we were subbing like that, and this ref, who was a rookie guy, came to both benches and said, "You have to put all your subs in at the same time, please." We just looked at him and said,
"No, we don't."
What? That's what he told us. I want all subs in to come in at the same time. We just went, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, we'll get right on that for you, sir.
Yeah, he was a little flustered that day.
In the paint, little hook won't go, but McGarrett will go to the line to shoot 2.
McGarrett using a nice left hand, trying a little running, kind of a mini hook shot there, Gary. It wasn't a true hook, it was a little running hook. See Steve Connor, is that Steve Connor down there in the far end with the camera in his hand?
On the left side is Jeff Pedersen right under the basket. The far right side is Steve Connor. We got 2 Idaho sports guys.
Did he get his camera fixed?
No, I'm not sure what he did. He was going to borrow a camera.
Oh, okay, he had a camera die yesterday. Boy, I tell you what,
on him.
He takes tremendous photographs. If you've never seen him, check it out, steveconnor.com. Man, C-O-N-N-O-R. He takes some mighty fine photographs of every single high school
Sorry, don't want to correct
sport
you.
around.
SteveConnorPhotography.com.
Steve Connor Photography.
It is ER.
BK has taken the lead
ER?
now, 9-8, 50 seconds to go.
Well, that's my bad. I thought it was OR. Well, I'm glad we got that right, because check it out.
I've announced it wrong before. That's how I know.
And there's a long three-pointer That was by Gonzalez, I believe. Yes. 33 ticks to go now. 11-9. Middleton ahead.
But all those pictures will be up on Idaho Sports from both those guys.
Lowry with the basketball. In the paint.
Oh, nice.
Trying to squeeze in a pass, and it gets there. A little jump hook by, that was Hancock who shot. And she got her own rebound after it wasn't touched. That's legal. If you shoot, you can go get your own ball. I learned that this year.
I'm thirsty. How about you, Paul?
Yeah. Boy, Mountain Dew would sound good right about now.
Ooh, boy, Diet Coke. Wow.
Your Mountain Dew's in the mail.
Maybe we should have bet on that.
See, I bet them, and I lost a pop to both these guys. Just haven't paid yet, but. How about if I just give each $1? Would that work?
No, I want the Mountain Dew.
I'll take the $1.
7.2. I left my wallet at home, unfortunately, today. 7.2 seconds. Here we go. Can BK get a shot off and tie it up? They trail by 2. They'll get a shot off. It won't go. Good first quarters in the books. The Vikings 11, the Knights 9. We'll return for the second period of play for the real Dairy Shootout after we take this pause for the cause.
Got milk?
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your trivia question for tonight's game. If you answer this trivia question right by emailing us the answer, you will win 1 free year subscription to Idaho Sports Zone magazine. Inaugural edition coming out the 22nd of February. Here's your question. Which school in any division has the most girls' state championships? Any division.
Any division.
Shot on the way is good by Hughes.
Megan Hughes, 16 points Thursday night, 11 points last night, along with a couple of assists, chipping in her fair share.
There's a shot baseline, no good. We're going to have a whistle and a foul, and there'll be some free throws coming up for the Knights.
Gary, here's one you can get. Assistant coach Bobby Sutcliffe for his first year as a BK girls assistant varsity coach. His brother won the Cy Young.
That's
Rick.
right.
Played for
Dodgers.
God bless you.
And the Cubs.
Go Cubbies. That's my team.
Oh, Paul's
Vulcan
over
with the
there.
free throw.
He gives me that look every time I say something, just like, what's he coming up with
I'm
now?
sorry,
Oh my God,
that's-
the Dodgers. Shakes his head.
That's Tulloch who made them both. My bad. And it's a 2-point lead for the Lady Vikes, 13-11. Boken with the basketball, looking inside for Adcox. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Mariah's hand, so it'll be Viking basketball.
You like these uniforms all black, Gary, that BK has?
They have the easiest uniforms I've seen. I'm giving these uniforms to the tourney, as far as I'm concerned. And notice how big the numbers are. That's what I love about them. Gribble with the steal to Adcox, to Hughes. Knocked away from her by Slutz. It'll remain in the possession of the Lady Knights. You know, the most impressive thing to me about BK is they play up a level. A lot of times they could have been in a lower division. And they've moved up, and they've always done well. They just are a sports powerhouse. Year in, year out. That's why I'm surprised when I saw that they'd never won a girls' state title before. Jenks with the basketball at the right wing. Slutz is trying to post up, but they're going to reverse the basketball. Root has it now. And the ball is out of bounds. It'll be a turnover in Knight basketball. They're trailed by 2.
Gary, talking about BK playing up, they have developed a really friendly rivalry with Bora. Those schools, as the crow flies, are not far apart, and they share the same canal, so oftentimes the football teams just walk down the canal to the other stadium when they're playing, and it's become a really neat rivalry, 5A, 4A.
Yeah, I've been to that once. That's a pretty cool deal. Have a barbecue and all.
Oh, yeah.
It's an event. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge event, and they play them in basketball. They play them in football. It's really cool.
The only odd thing that it sounded, they share the same canal.
They do. The canal runs behind
But
the
I mean,
school,
what do they use the canal for?
The canal road.
There's a canal road, and you can walk down it. There's people walk dogs and jog out there.
But the whole team, the parents, fans, they all walk the canal to the game after the event.
It's a huge thing. That canal runs the length of Boise.
Well, maybe they need a rivalry game, fight for the canal.
The canal rivalry.
Instead of fight for the fish. There's a shot check, and a putback by Root hit the bottom of the rim.
Root was a little too far under the basket.
Blocked by the tallest guy on the floor of the rim. And the referees are looking at each other now for a call. And one ref signals Bishop Kelly basketball. And I don't think the Middleton Pep Club agreed with him, but they rarely would if they're pointing away of the Knights.
So what happened is Kalika Tulloch got hammered there. It's kind of knocked a little bit. So I think that's what they were disagreeing with on that call. Not that it went out of bounds off of her, that just she got hit.
Little passing game up top right now for the Lady Knights. Now they get good position inside. Shot on the way, no good by Brunel. She gets her own rebound though, keeps it alive for the Knights. There's a free throw jumper by Hughes, no good. And Middleton with the rebound.
Hughes, a good look at the basket, made a fake both ways. And there's another contact that they let go.
That was quite a bit of contact they let go.
That kind of contact doesn't bother me, though. I mean, it didn't really affect much.
And there's a nice move inside by Tulloch. And her second field goal, she's got 6.
That's a good point, Paul. It's way out above the three-point line. No one's trying to advance. She just kind of dribbling there and got hit. So the Stripes decides to let that go. That's a pretty good call right there.
Driving in the paint, left-handed shot, no good. Rebounded by Middleton and a traveling violation. However, I'll take this from another angle. Sometimes a guard just does a little hand check. I remember the year it was an emphasis. Hand check.
That was a point of emphasis.
Okay, but I'm trying to tell you something. That didn't affect the play that much either. And that was a lot less than the contact you just saw right there.
I understand that, Gary. I understand that. And when your boss tells you this is a point of emphasis, that's what you call. And I remember that year they were doing that. Boy, that was a point of emphasis. Yeah. And it was every time you put your hand on a hip, it was a whistle, whistle, whistle.
Glenn, let's just hope it's never a point of emphasis again. Because that was the year of the ticky-tacks.
We want to emphasize that. We hope it's never a point of emphasis again.
Jenks with the basketball. She'll drive. She'll shoot. Oh, would have counted had it gone, but it didn't. But she'll go to the foul line to shoot 2.
Boy, Jenks put that high off the glass. I thought that had a real chance of going in, Gary, and just barely stayed out.
You know why I like this girl? Because her first name's Robbie. And that's my beloved Labrador. She'll be 4 in February 23rd.
You think Robbie Jenks' real name is Robinson Jenks?
I don't know, but my dog's real name is Robinson.
Named after?
Our heritage from Scotland, our mother's maiden name.
Let's give a shout out to our mom who's not listening, but we'll give a shout out to her anyhow.
6-point lead for the Vikes. That's the biggest lead they've enjoyed, 17-11. Remember, these teams split in the regular season, so I love it when the rubber game is for the state championship. Shot on the way, no good. Battle for the rebound, and they found a foul somewhere in there. They called it on the Lady Knights.
Well, I thought Boken got away with a little walk there. What did you think, Paul, when she went down the lane?
You know, I was looking at the computer, so I did not see it.
Was the computer walking?
No.
Okay.
It was talking.
3:30 to go here in our first half. It's the 4A Real Dairy Shootout, the state championship game. Middleton by 6 right now. Driving the lane. What a nice left-hander by Simmons. Her second, she's got 4. And a timeout by Bishop Kelly. 19-11. The Vikes by 8. We'll return to the Real Dairy Shootout right after this.
Got milk?
Paul, could you zero in on Middleton cheerleaders? Because I want to show you something. The first male cheerleader I've seen this year. Now, see, this is the smartest guy in Idaho. You know, they kind of make fun of male cheerleaders. All they do is work with the best-looking girls in the school. Now, would you please tell me how that could ever be stupid?
No.
You know,
No,
and actually,
smartest guy.
it's almost turning into an old stereotype because it's getting big in college now. I mean, in
bet.
high schools all over the
They
country.
give
So-
scholarships, you know, and it's a great way to earn a scholarship. And, Gary, it's the first one you can document because sometimes we have males inside those mascots.
But
Like
they're
they had
the
the bear
mas-
last
Sure.
time, so it could have been a male.
Well, they're a mascot, not a cheerleader, though.
Well, I actually
they
think it's
cheer.
great that guys can be cheerleaders now and not have to worry about what's being said. I mean, I like it. I think it's great.
I've already decided my next life I am going to be a male cheerleader.
You know, and it's also, there's a ball batted out of bounds that'll remain in the BK possession. You talk about it, the scholarships that are given out, you know, you got a couple of people that apply for the same school to scholarship. It's going to be kind of the reverse thing, male-female. You might want to look at a male because they're a little bit stronger. They can throw the girls up. They can catch them, and everybody's looking for male cheerleaders. So you get a nice scholarship and get to go to school with a free ride, or at least a partial ride.
2:44 to go in our half, 19-11, and it'll be Middleton basketball.
I had a student at my school, Dallin Nelson, had a full ride to Texas, all set up, and then he was a cheerleader at Boren, and he got hurt, and his scholarship wasn't honored.
1-3-1 zone now by Bishop Kelly. Maybe they've been playing that the whole game. I just noticed it. Into Sleuths, but she was in traffic. They're lucky they got that basketball into her. All alone is Jenks. Can't get it. A putback no good by Sleuths. And the Knights with the basketball trailing by 8. In the paint. A little hook shot is checked, but a foul. I'll give you a trivia question, Glenn. I was a coach for years, you know.
Go ahead.
The first athlete I ever had get a scholarship, Marion Painter, cheerleading to
U of I.
Iowa State.
I thought it was U of I.
I was a cheerleader advisor for like 3 or 4 years.
I'm not questioning. I just
Idaho
thought-
State.
Okay.
I guarantee it. She was a pharmacy major. I take a lot of pride in that. My baseball players couldn't make it, but my cheerleader did.
Well, that's a tribute to your effort as a cheerleading advisor, Gary. Can we call you a cheerleading coach?
A lot of people can't believe I did that for a few years, but I did. I remember once I went to a camp in the summer at NNC. There was like 500 girls on this field, cheerleading, all females, and one male, me. I had a good time.
Yeah, that's not a stupid class to take.
No, I was smart. I thought it was sharp as a tack. It's 19-13. Middleton with a $1.53 and the basketball. Did they throw it away? No, they saved it to Jenks. That was a good save by Tulloch. There's a strip. Lowry has it. She'll go up and can't score, and the ball knocked out of bounds to Middleton.
But one thing I've noticed today that we've had a lot of breakaway baskets, and there's been the person with the ball has taken it to the hoop about 90% of the time when they have help on the side. And Lowry, is it Lowry or Lowry?
It's Lowry. I keep mispronouncing it. It's my
Okay,
fault.
it's Lowry.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
he had help on the side but did not get it over there. Lowry was a non-starter last year and splits time with Gribble.
Middleton working a little bit on the clock there. That'll take a baseline jumper. Didn't even draw iron.
Boy, that's good rotation, good look there. And everything was great about that offensive set except the shot.
You know, the Middleton Pep Club's been able to airball a couple of times, and the Bishop Kelly Pep Club got even with them there. They have their own chorus of airball. You know, a lot of people don't like that. It's unsportsmanlike. But in reality, the players don't care. Everybody does it. It's no big deal. In fact, put these girls in the boys Pep Club and they're playing, and they'll yell it. Drive is great drive by Boken. Her first field goal.
Man, she put that up under duress and banged it home, Gary. That was a tremendous shot.
She saw the bucket and was determined to go the whole way. Didn't care who got in her way. She was going to the hole. Tulloch is going to be tripped and she'll fall down hard. Both teams at 16 fouls, so here's our first bonus time with 19.7 left in the first half. 4-point lead for the Vikes.
Tulloch turning in a pretty strong performance, Gary. Unofficially, or officially, I guess now I have her with 12 points Thursday night, 12 points Friday night to go along with 8 rebounds, leading her team on Thursday and 6 assists on Thursday also.
You got
She's
some
an
email.
all-around player.
Excuse me, Glenn. You have some emails for us, Pablo?
Yes, from Idaho Falls, we believe it should be easy to have a great Go Middleton. I got to proofread these things.
11 seconds to go. They go inside, and it's checked by Simmons, and she turns around and shrugs her shoulder at the ref, and so did Andy Jones, and said, whoa, that looked pretty clean, and I'd have to agree.
Gary Boken came down on someone's ankle of her own player, and she turned her ankle pretty badly. She was limping heavily coming down there, but 8.8 seconds. I guess they're going to leave her in, but she is not at 100%.
You know, guys, the email that just came in, actually, probably a good point. I don't want to dwell on it too much. I don't want to talk about it too much, but he brought up the point that a lot of people do, the mistaken point, that Bishop Kelly is allowed to recruit. Now, he's half right because he says you're not restricted to a boundary, which is true, but I talked to the IHSAA about it, and just like every other school, they are not allowed to recruit, nor do they recruit. So let's just get that out there.
Glenn and I have no comment. 7 seconds to go.
Official word from the IHSAA.
Yeah.
I understand that.
And another, we'll read about it on a blog. There's the halftime buzzer. Our score, Middleton 19, Bishop Kelly 15. You're enjoying the real Dairy Shootout on idahosports.com. We'll be back with our halftime stats and more after we take this time out. All right, we're back. Remember our trivia question for a free subscription to the Idaho Sports Zone magazine. Which school in Idaho has the most state championships at any level? I'll give you the number, 7. Lucky number 7. No, you're not eligible, Glenn.
Gary, looking at some of the stats from the first half, the first glaring one that sticks out is 22% from the field and no three-pointers for BK. Everything else is pretty much even, and it's a 4-point ball game, which is what you'd expect. But great defense throughout this tournament. We've seen a lot of teams in the 20s in the first half, so they finally figure out what's going on and start putting a little more better offensive sets together.
Well, there's only been one three-pointer in this whole game so far. It's from Gonzalez. Underneath, a little handoff and a shot quickly by Adcox, no good, and a rebound by the Vikes. And there's Tulloch losing her balance a little bit, and the ball slipping out of bounds.
Well, that's what you say. Yeah, one three-point, only one made.
One made, that's what I meant. One made,
Middleton was
three-pointer.
1 of 5. So, boy, some of these other teams, Gary, they're putting up three-pointers left and right. We've seen earlier on some of the smaller schools, some of the larger schools content on working the ball inside and trying to get medium range or close high percentage shots.
And I think that has a lot to do with the strength of your team. You know, if you're a guard-oriented team, you're probably going to shoot more three-pointers. If you're a center-oriented team, obviously you're going to put it into the big girl. And there's a foul on Middleton, and going to the charity stripe will be Megan Hughes. .6:58 to go here in our third period of play. And a free throw good, so BK draws first blood here in the third quarter. And the next one is also good. So it's back to a 2-point game. This is a nice game here to settle the championship. The rubber match between these two as they split during the regular season.
Yes, they won home and home.
Tulloch with the basketball. Up top to Chinks, over to Root. Now they go inside to Simmons. She'll drive, a shot on the way, no good. And they're going to say no shot. A foul before the shot. That'll be the first foul on BK in the second half. That foul was on Adcox, her second.
Gary, the teams that there's a shot, misses badly, but Tulloch there to put the ball back in. Gary, the regular season record, 71-9 of the 4 teams that beat BK. Centennial 20-0, Eagle 15-5, Middleton 17-3, and Jerome 19-1. So the teams that beat BK were pretty darn good teams.
That was a heads-up play by McGarrett because the ball was going out of bounds, so she jumped up and got it and threw it back off of a Middleton Viking. You know, BK has a tendency to play up when they play non-conference games, Glenn. They play a lot of 5A schools, and I just think that makes you better down the road.
Well, it certainly does. It gives you that experience that you might need, and we've seen that so far in the tournament. They've won 2 hotly contested games in the girls' state tournament.
Welcome with the basketball. And it's McGarrett on the wing. She'll feed it inside to Adcox. Turnaround Jay is good. Her first field goal.
That was kind of a juke shot, combination jump and hook.
The Vikes just can't shake the Knights. They're sticking around, only trailed by 2. Slutz, baseline jumper, no good, and a rebound to the Lady Knights. It's Boken coming out of there, full steam ahead. She'll drive in, shot on the way, won't go, but she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Boy, that Boken, as she was moved inside, she did kind of lean out and kind of initiate some contact there. So that's what a call that seen from this angle, anyhow, might have gone the other way.
And
Be
you
that
can
as
hear
it may,
them.
she's at the free throw line, bounce.
I'm
shoot.
laughing about the Middleton Pep Club, who, when the girls are at the line, they go, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I mean, free throw shooters, you know what's silly about golf? You got to be completely quiet. Nobody even take a camera when you're making a 3-foot putt. But basketball players, you can scream, yell, you can light firecrackers off, dynamite, and it's okay. And my word to golfers, chill out, make the putt. Don't worry about people screaming.
That's an easy game. You should be able to yell at them.
We're all tied up at 21.
Oops.
I'll take care of that for you.
Well, I'll tell you what, yelling and screaming certainly doesn't seem to bother free throw shooters. I think if the gym got deadly quiet, it might bother more. There's a long three-pointer off the back of the iron, no good. Tulloch with an offensive board, she can't score. And it's McGarrett with a rebound.
Ooh, a drop step out of bounds. BK turns the ball over. I know there's a lot of yelling and screaming when I play golf, Gary, but it's usually after I shoot and it's by me.
Well, Glenn, you know what your problem is? You're standing too close to the ball after you hit it.
After I hit it, yeah.
It's an old joke, I'm sorry.
That's true, though, in my case.
Shot on the way by Simmons, no good. Kind of an underhand scoop shot to get it around her defender. It wouldn't fall. And
No, her
Bishop
body-
Kelly has a chance for a lead.
Excuse me, Gary. Her body was well past the line there, and that's a shot.
And there it is. Megan Hughes has given BK a lead. She's got 6 points in the contest, 4 in this quarter. 23-21, the Knights are ahead now.
The Knights have hacked their way back into this game.
That's a nice
Oh!
move inside by Simmons for her 6 points.
Samantha Simmons with a scissor move on the inside, splits 2 defenders and lays it up uncontested. Beautiful move.
Boken with the basketball. And now they leave Hughes alone. She can't connect, though. We're going to have a defensive or offensive rebound foul on the Knights. .23 all, 4:17 to go in our third period of play. We've already crowned 3 state champions today. We can catch up real quick. Genesee won the 1A, 55-41. Grangeville won the 2A, 51-33. Shelley won the 3A, 53-44. And we got Valley View and Coeur d'Alene next. Shot by Tulloch, no good, and defensive board cleaned up by BK. Here they come. There's a loose ball tipped away. And a long pass to Root all the way down. Lay it up and in. She did that move where you're running fast, but your last step is up. She did it perfectly and made a nice layup, full speed.
And she put it high off the little square there to make sure it's going to go down in the basket.
Middleton by 2. Remember, their school burnt down. They're still in trailers and, you know, our temporary structure. Their school will open by next year.
That's over the back. Tulloch had position on the inside. Is that Figueroa.
Wait for it to flash up on the board. Didn't see the signal from the ref. Yeah, her second.
That's her second foul. So she has a seat. Coach McCormick says, have a seat. Don't like those over the back fouls. You're out of position. It's
25-23, 2-point lead for Middleton. There's a jumper just inside the free throw line by Simmons, and it's good.
Collapsing defense there by BK didn't do any good. Simmons put the ball in anyhow.
4-point lead for the Vikings. We're under 3 minutes to go in the third now. That's Lindsey Tejan in the game now for the Knights. Hughes, jumper on the way,
nice.
Gets the shooter's touch and falls home.
That bounced about 3 times on the rim before it went down. That is a shooter's touch and then some.
She's got 6 points in the quarter, 8 in the game, and BK back to within 2. Tulloch gets shut down. So it'll be Simmons again. She's hotter than a peppered sprout right now. 10 points in the contest. 29-25, Middleton by 4. Driving down the lane, ball knocked away, and apparently it went off of Boken because they're giving the ball to Middleton.
I'm not sure if that was not knocked away, Gary. I think maybe she just lost the handle. Looked like it may have been hit by Boken, but nonetheless, I think she just dropped it out of bounds.
Substitution now, Caitlin Smith in.
Here we go.
And Emily Hammond in for the Vikings.
2:10 to go, 29-25 Middleton over BK, third quarter action.
Middleton with the lead and the basketball. Simmons has it. Over to Hancock, who's in the game now. Smith gets control of her dribble, gives it baseline to Hancock. Now they'll go up top to Hammond. Good ball movement right now by the Lady Vikings. And equally good defense by BK. And then they're going to be a foul. That foul will be called, I think, on Lowry.
Yeah, a little hand check on Tulloch as Kalika's trying to make her way down the left side of the key.
$1:38 to go in the third, 29-25, Middleton. Tulloch will inbound underneath her own hoop. And she gets it into Smith. Smith will bring it up top of the key to Simmons. Knight's playing good, tough man right now. There's a jumper in the key, no good by Tulloch. I guess I was saying Tulloch, and it's Tulloch. One of the listeners told us that. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much.
Her Uncle Ken from Eugene, Oregon.
Thank you, Uncle Ken. Somebody in the pep club told me Tulloch, so I just went by what I was told by a kid. Apparently didn't know him very well. Tulloch, thank you very much. Four-point lead. The Lady Knights are trying to cut into it right now. We're approaching 1 minute to go in the third. There's a jumper, free throw line, no good. Rebound, Tulloch. She's got a player up ahead. She hits her, and Hammond gets hit herself, and Hammond will go to the line to shoot 2. She has yet to score here in the state championship ball game.
Another email that's kind of interesting. Says Joel Derrick, I'm watching from Tempe, Arizona at ASU, rooting for the BK Knights. Just commenting on your surprise, the BK hasn't won a girls b-ball championship yet, but wrestling and girls b-ball are the only sanctioned sports the BK has never won a championship in yet. So I'm hoping BK can pull it out tonight. Anyway, thanks for broadcasting the game, and go Knights.
Well, thank you much.
That's an interesting little factoid.
Well, I'll tell you what, that means they've won an awful lot of state championships in other sports, and some of them are multiple. They've always had a terrific sports program. Next free throw, hangs on the rim, won't go. Offensive putback by Hancock won't go, and now a jump ball, and the arrow's pointing the way of Middleton.
Well, we know what happened in football when Cody Hawkins was there, son of Dan Hawkins, who was at BSU, and the success they had there. And I can vouch for Wes Farrell's, the softball coach, one of the finest coaches in the Treasure Valley, as Tulloch hits from deep outside for a three-pointer.
33-25. They've opened up an 8-point lead now on the Lady Knights with 35 seconds to go here in the third period. There's a ball nearly stolen, but Brunel will run it down. Gribble with the basketball. And we're going to have a foul inside on Middleton.
5 team fouls on BK, 4 team fouls now on Middleton. That's Emily Hammond's first team foul, or first foul of the game.
Boken with the basketball at the top of the key. To Gribble, back to Boken. In the paint, shot on the way, no good. Battle for the rebound. Oh, wow, that girl went down hard. That was Gonzalez. Ouch.
Wow. Yeah, she flew straight down, and there's nothing between her and the floor but air, Gary. She hit hard. She's okay, though, bounces up.
Wow. Kids these days like a Rubbermaid.
Wow.
BK better get it in. Boy, they do. Point blank out of the bucket, and Hughes can't connect. 4 seconds for Middleton to try to get a shot. Tulloch will try to pass it in, but the horn sounds. 3 quarters in the books, 1 quarter to go. Middleton 33, BK 25. We'll return for the 4th and final period of play after this timeout.
Got milk?
Looking for nationwide recruiting exposure? Ultimate Edge Sports comes to Idaho for its first annual high school football combine and speed training camp at the Boise Soccer Center April 19th. Camp features current NFL, NBA speed trainer Travell Gaines and is open to the rising seniors of the class of 2009 and top underclassmen. Visit www.ultimateedgesports.net to register today and secure your spot at Ultimate Edge Sports. We give you opportunity. Also, if you're a BK fan, go to bkfootball.com for information. I think it's on all BK sports. Great website by John Brunel. He actually submitted a little bit information, a little bit color information for tonight's game, so I want to thank him and the support he ties for Idaho Sports. We've talked for a few years, email back and forth. Good guy.
Well, one of these schools 8 minutes away from their first state championship, barring overtime, as neither of these teams has ever hoisted the trophy at the end of the year. Passing game right now for the Lady Vikes. Pass and screen away. Nearly a steal. Slutz has it to Tulloch. Up top to Jenks. Actually, they're not screening away. They're passing and cutting through the key. Tulloch opens up wide, dribbles baseline and scores. Her 13th point.
The defender on Tulloch went for that little head fake on a pass out, and she just took it baseline and kissed it off the glass for 2 points.
Tulloch having a great state championship basketball game. And there's a steal. The Vikes have it. Fast break. Ball slips away, and it goes to Gribble. And the ball knocked out of bounds, but off of Middleton. 35-25, 10-point lead for the Lady Vikings, and the Knights have got to do something here with 6:48 left.
You can't let it slip away, and you can't be trading baskets.
McGarrett with the basketball over to Gribble. Up top is Spokane. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebounded by Tulloch. Tulloch playing well at both ends of the floor. Jenks with the basketball. Over to Root. Slutz with it. In the paint, off glass, no good. Battling for the rebound. And the Knights end up with it, and there's a girl down the floor. Ooh, They called a foul. Unfortunate for BK because even though the foul's on Middleton, they were going to get a layup from Hughes.
Yeah, they were going to get a layup. That's the third foul on Slutz, and that's the 16th foul, I believe, if it goes up. No, it says 5.
Adcock's at the lane, goes down the paint, and has a shot checked by Middleton. Still a 10-point bulge for Vikings. There's a reach, and we're going to have a foul called. That'll be the 16th foul for Bishop Kelly. And after that, any more fouls out on BK, and it'll be free throw time for the Middleton Vikings. Middleton trying to inbound the ball, and they get into Simmons. Little give and go. Tulloch back to Simmons. She tries a layup, no good. Rebounded by Hughes. Here come the Lady Knights. All the way down off glass for McGarrett. Just won't go. It hung on the rim, but it fell off the wrong side. And the Vikings on the offensive attack. They can start being very patient now. 10-point lead. And there's a steal. McGarrett has it. Ahead of the pack from the left side. Counts if it goes. It won't go. But she was fouled.
That's great anticipation by McGarrett to see that pass coming and step in front and try to take it all the way home, but she was fouled. 5 minutes, 10 seconds left, Gary. 10-point lead for Middleton. Fairly low scoring here, 35-25.
Just about 3 minutes gone by. We've only had 2 points scored in this fourth quarter. This is the way you come from behind. You hit your free throws when the clock isn't running, and McGarrett does that on the first attempt. Brunel back in. And for the Vikings, Jenks had a seat. Next one won't go. But under the bucket for the rebound is Boken, and she'll lay it in for a 6-point. And a quick timeout by BK with 5:07 to go. 35-28, Middleton in charge, but the Knights are charging.
It's a real pleasure for Idaho's dairy farmers to sponsor this year's high school championship basketball games. As usual, it's been an exciting season right down to the wire. The United Dairymen of Idaho will be sponsoring other student activities this year through the High School Activities Association. It's their contribution to youth development in our state. And Idaho's dairy farmers would like to remind you that when you want something really good to drink, drink milk, because milk's got more. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Ultimate Edge Sports and Athletes Network Success, the College of Southern Idaho, and check out bkfootball.com.
All right, here we go. 5:07 to go. And Middleton with the basketball. A little diamond and one press put on by BK, and they get a steal off of it. No, they stepped on the line. That was Lowry. And she had the steal, but then she stepped on the baseline.
They can buy the DVD and see that she stepped on the line.
Yeah, that's the old diamond and one, the old Johnny Wooden press put on by Bishop Kelly. Slutz with the basketball. Root will drive, dish it to Tulloch. Off glass is good.
Tulloch using the backboard nicely, putting the ball up and over the rim and letting it hit off the square and down into the cylinder.
She's got 15 points. And there's a check, clean as a whistle by Simmons. 37-28. 4:30 and counting in the state championship game. There's a stop, a pop, no good. Tulloch fighting for the rebound, and it goes off, out of bounds off of her. Tulloch is leading all scorers with 15 points. The high scorer on BK right now is Hughes with 8. Gribble with the basketball. Over to Lowry. Lowry and Boken just playing catch right now. Boken in the paint, check by Simmons. That's her second check in that many possessions. Smith, a 1-on-2 fast break, and she wisely slows it up and looks for help. And Andy Jones called a timeout thinking his girl was getting double teamed and in trouble. And with 3:54 to go in our state championship game, it's a 9-point Middleton lead. We'll return to the Idaho Center after this.
Got milk?
Well, you missed that during the timeout, but the one male cheerleader from Middleton just did the back handspring somersault the entire length of the floor.
And beyond.
How does he know where he is? That he's not ready to run into the wall. I'd be so dizzy, I'd faint. That was impressive. The whole crowd gave him almost a standing ovation. Here you go with the three-girl weave up top as Middleton's trying to kill the clock now. Oh, there was well, I was going to say a dangerous pass, but that was a foul by Gribble.
It looked like a dangerous pass because Gribble stopped her arm in motion. The ball just sort of floated off her arm, bouncing inside in towards the key.
Magera in for Lowry. Our 5A game will follow Valley View and Coeur d'Alene, and at halftime, the legends of the game. Free throw no good by Root. Her first attempt at a free throw in this contest. And BK needs some buckets, and they need them now. They missed that one, and Slutz with the rebound. Middleton trying to close in on its first state championship ever in girls basketball. And there's a nice steal by Bocan, and then they're both girls fighting for it. It goes out of bounds, and we do have a foul whistle on the floor. Referee's letting the dust settle. And he called it on BK.
Yes,
They're walking
did.
the other way for free throw attempts here. Who is that at the line, Glenn? We're right even with the free throw shoot on our vantage point while we're on the north end here, and you just can't see the number because we're looking at the side of the young lady.
Jenks?
Yeah, that was Jenks, and she misses. So, you know, Middleton letting them stay in the game here, Glenn, by missing their free throw. They're front into the 1-and-1s. It's just up to BK to take advantage of it. Shot no good, and Tulak with a rebound. Tulak comes to a jump stop over the timeline, hands it to her point guard. And the 5-3 Jenks will take it. 2:45 and counting. Simmons posted up. She's got the ball. Back to Jenks. The little two-man game inside. Simmons tries to get a shot off, can't, or actually got it off, but missed, then tried to get a rebound, couldn't. And now we're going to have a foul.
The foul's going to be on Janae Root. That's her fourth personal.
Walking the other way are the Knights to shoot some free throws. Boken at the line.
Gary, you wonder if BK has the wherewithal to, I use that 2 nights in a row,
I like that word.
to come back 273 days ago. 4 of the girls played on the 4A state championship softball game. 3 days ago, 3 of the girls were in the state championship lacrosse final. 119 days ago, 3 of the girls were in the state championship soccer game. So if you talk about experience in a state game, BK certainly has it.
Did you get a calendar out and count all those days up? No comment.
I have my people on it.
Have my people talk to your people, would you?
Are you doubting me, Gary?
No, I would never doubt you. 37-30, it's down to 7 points. And some very important free throws coming up for Tulak as she stands at the line for the last 1-and-1 attempt. After this, it'll be double bonus.
Gary, the softball team beat Mountain Home 5-3 to win the state championship. The lacrosse team lost to Eagle 6-2, and the soccer team beat Skyview 2-0 for the state championship. So plenty of girls on here on BK's roster that have been in this situation before.
Kalika Tulak. Got a cool name.
And Kalika Tulak says, state championship, here we come.
You know what else she's saying? IdahoSports.com MVP of the game. She's got 17. She's played great defense. She's rebounded. She's done it all for the Vikings here. And there's a Boken charging inside. Blocking foul called on the Vikes.
You know, it also doesn't bode well for BK. We have not seen them take very many outside shots. And when you're down, you need those, maybe a chance for a three-pointer, a couple three-pointers to get back in the game. They just don't look like the team that's able to do that at this point in the game, Gary.
Free throw is good by Chelsea. Junior at 5'7". She'll be back next year for the Lady Knights.
One of the Vikings over there, Damien, predicted a score of 35-31. I said, wow, pretty low. He said, well, it'll be defensive. I don't think it'll be much higher than that. And we're sitting right now at 39-31 with 2:11 to go, Gary. So he's looking like he knows what he's talking about.
Find out if he knows the winning lottery numbers.
I got them. They're in my car if you want to go check them out.
2:11 to go. Timeout on the floor. 7-point Viking lead. We'll return to the Real Dairy Shootout after this.
Got milk?
The guy's a stud, isn't he?
I think we need to stay out for a timeout and watch that guy the next time. He just did the backward handsprings again. I missed the first third, and I counted 9. So he did probably about 13, 14, 15 of those in a row. Wow. That's got to make your brain spin around. Tulloch inbound against full court pressure. This time it just looks like a straight man-to-man defense. We like to call it a chick-to-chick defense. It wasn't the diamond and one we saw earlier. Tulloch brings it over the timeline, and she has it in the front court. And quickly they come in to try to double team her and get the ball, but she gets a pass away. And that's Simmons with a big bucket that makes it a 9-point lead again.
Great ball movement there and to keep BK off guard, and Simmons putting the ball in. There's BK answering.
Brunel with her second field goal. And that's 4 points for Cassie.
7-point game, $1:33 to go.
A lot of time. Depends on how Middleton handles the pressure of Bishop Kelly. 3-pointer they want to try. And we're going to have an inside rebound foul against Slutz. And what that's going to do is march the teams down the other end and let BK shoot without any time going on the clock. So that's one thing if you're a Middleton player, you cannot let them try to come back with the clock not running.
Well, it's exactly what Andy Jones said, Gary. And
Slutz fouled out.
Slutz fouls out. Andy Jones is back there just going, what are you doing shooting that ball? Grabbed his head a couple times and shaking his head. And, well, that's what either makes your hair fall out or turn gray or both.
That's one of those shots when the coach is like, no, and if it went in, he would have gone, oh, good shot. Great. $1:22 to go, 41-34. And standing at the foul line is Megan Hughes. Let's see, she's 2 of 2 from the line. She has 8 points in the contest. Hasn't scored this period.
Coach Jones put in Erica Hancock for the Lady Vikings.
A couple of big free throws right here for Hughes. And as Stuart Scott would say, cool as the other side of the pillow on the first one.
Remind everybody that when you buy the DVD, just throw this little plug in here. You'll also get a photo slideshow set to music of all the great action photos of the game as well as the medal presentations, not just the DVD of the game. So make sure you take an opportunity to buy the DVD. It's nice and easy to do right on the webcast player or on the website.
The free throws are good and a hard foul put on Tulloch in the back court. It is down to 5, so a little nervous time for the Middleton Vikings. They thought they might have been coasting in the last 90 seconds. Well, guess again, BK making a charge. And we had another disqualification.
Chelsea Boken.
Josie Boken is fouled out.
You know, Gary,
points.
I like Tulloch there as a hard foul. Nothing flagrant about it. Just, you know, one of those, I go for a steal or I either get the ball or I get your arm. And she got Tulloch's arm and half her upper body and knocked her down. Tulloch just calmly gets up and just started, didn't look around, didn't say anything, just started walking right down to the free throw line knowing she's going to shoot 2 free throws here because it is 10 team fouls now. And very cool customer, very experienced player is Tulak.
This
She
is the
misses
first.
her first one.
She is 4 of 6 from the charity stripe on my unofficial book. That one is good. 6-point lead. Does BK want to try 2 3-pointers straight up? There's the first one, but it was checked. And Bishop Kelly saved it in bounds. They didn't really need to. It would have been their ball. I'm not so sure that girl saw the check. She didn't know it. And then there's a foul in the backcourt by Bishop Kelly.
Had a chance there, Gary, when Middleton only connecting on 1 of 2 free throws. So you have a chance to pick up 1 or 2 points there if the 3-pointer had gone. But, boy, look at this. We got every Viking except Jenks, who's shooting the ball down in the key on the other end.
I like that move.
I
He
do
doesn't
too.
want another rebound foul. First free throw, good. And there's another cool cucumber. It's back to 8, a little more breathing room for Middleton. And, oh, that hurts. Jenks just jammed her fingertip in that
Yow.
pass. That hurts. And you got a big old fat knuckle for a long time as well. We're going to keep the timeout right here. Anything BK's Derek McCormick can do to pull a rabbit out of his hat here, Glenn, in the last 59 seconds.
Boy, it's going to be a rabbit that he has to pull out, maybe 2 rabbits, Gary, because they haven't been shooting very well from the outside or overall from the game. For that matter, their offense is real methodical. Pass, and cut. And you don't have the time to do that, Gary. And so to all of a sudden change gears at this stage of the game and try to get something going or a quick look from the outside is going to be very difficult. But first thing he did is grab his board and design up a play, as Coach McCormick did. So we'll see what's inside of Coach McCormick's head, trying to unravel it on the floor.
Let's see if they primarily want to go to 3-pointers or if they'll still work the ball inside that 3-point line. There's the first 3-pointer. No good. Rebounded by Root, and she's fouled.
Yeah, Julie Maguro with the foul there, trying to reach around. We're going to come down the other end. Just only a couple ticks off the clock, but once again, you lost a couple of ticks plus what's going to come down the other side. And we'll see if Middleton can pad their lead here, Gary. 8 points right now. A couple of free throws would make it 10. That's a 4-possession game, Gary, and there's not a whole lot of time left.
Free throw is good. I'll answer my trivia question now, Glenn. Actually, that record got tied. The team with the most championships at any level was Prairie with 7, but Grangeville got their 7th today, earlier today. We would have accepted either answer.
Jenks missed that second free throw, and BK came down and turned the ball over.
Tulak gets it in to Simmons. Simmons up ahead to Jenks. Simmons back to Jenks up top of the key. 30 seconds and counting. BK's trying to get a steal now without fouling. They don't want to send Middleton to the line again. They just want to get a clean steal. It's tough because these girls are ball handlers. And the Middleton crowd on their feet cheering their girls on. It would appear they are going to win their first state championship in their school's history. You know, they may not have a high school right now completely because of the fire, but they got their first state championship. And when they crown that new school next year, they'll have this under their belt. Of course, they still have their gym. It did not get affected by the school's fire. And they have a nice gymnasium.
You know, Gary, we actually had an answer to that trivia question. Brian Carpenter wrote in, was it Prairie?
Well, I think he's got the answer before I said it, correct?
Oh, he sent it in an hour ago. It just got
well,
lost in
there's your
email.
guy. We have got that guy's name, and if, I don't know what kind of information you need from him to
I've
get.
got 800 number direct sell and fax from this guy. So.
All right, well, congratulations. You are going to win a free subscription to Idaho Sports Zone, the magazine.
Nice.
And there's the buzzer. The Middleton Vikings are state champs for the first time with a 46-38 victory.
Middleton is excited over there.
Yes, they are.
Oh, your first title might really be the sweetest. They'll pass out the trophies now to second place first, and then first place later after that, and individual medals for all the girls that participated in the state championship game. And Coach Derek McCormick sends the seniors out to accept the award, and then he'll speak to the crowd. The banner for the Middleton Vikings.
Number 20, Brittany Cruz. Number 23, Samantha Simmons. Number 31, Danielle Chestnut. Once again, thank you girls, thank you Middleton.
Okay, Glenn, go ahead and do the stats, and we'll call it an evening.
Okay, here's the stats for the 4A championship game won by the Middleton Lady Vikings. You just saw the presentation down there. So we'll start with the BK Lady Knights. 9 points in the first quarter, 6 in the second, 10 in the third, 13 in the fourth. Breaks down like this. Julie McGeera, 8 points, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Bailey Lowry, 2 points. Megan Hughes, 10 points, a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. Chelsea Bocan, 10 points, a perfect 6 for 6 from the line. Elise Talboy, 2 points. She got both of those from the free throw line on 4 attempts. Mariah Adcox, 2 points, and Cassie Brunel, 2 points. As a team, 16 of 19 from the charity stripe for Derek McCormick, second place, BK Lady Knights. For your 4A Real Dairy champions, the Middleton Lady Vikings, here's how their scoring breaks down. 11 in the first period, 2 in the second, 14 in the third, and 13 in the fourth. Janae Root had 3 points. She was 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Robbie Jakes, 4 points. She got all of those on 5 attempts from the free throw line. Kalika Tulak, 18 points. IdahoSports.com player of the game, 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Sarah Slutz had 2 points. Samantha Simmons, a close second in the IdahoSports.com voting, 13 points, 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Emily Hammond, 1 point. She got that on 2 shots from the charity stripe. And rounding out the scoring, Araya Gonzalez, 3 points. For the team, 12 of 20 from the free throw line. Congratulations to both Bishop Kelly and Middleton for a fine season. Middleton wins. Gary?
We've crowned 4 state champions now. Genesee in the 1A, Grangeville in the 2A, Shelley in the 3A, and now Middleton in the 4A. There's 1 to go. Our championship game will be at 8 o'clock. It's between the Valley View Falcons and the Coeur d'Alene Vikings. We hope you enjoyed watching the state championship webcast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. So for Glenn Jones, Paul Kingsbury, and IdahoSports.com, this is Gary Jones. The final score, Middleton wins its first state championship, 46-38 over the Bishop Kelly Knights. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We hope your next game is a good one.
High school students, CSI has dual credit agreements with more than 30 high schools around Idaho. Chances are excellent that yours participates. This means that you can be earning college and high school credit at the same time. You can save even more money by earning some dual credits your junior and senior years. You'll spend that much less time getting your degree once you get to college. See your high school counselor for details or go online to www.csi.edu.